I am a vendor at the Valley of Plenty Quilters Quilt Show, and here is my booth. This quilt show in Emmett, Idaho has some amazing quilts for you to enjoy. It's an annual show that the local guild, the Valley of Plenty Quilters, puts on every year during the Emmett Cherry Festival. I walk through the show commenting on the 130 plus quilts displayed. However, I did miss quite a few due to user error, which is me messing up. But I have two interviews, one from an accomplished quilter and the other one is from Verl, a vendor who makes my fave quilting tool. He shows you the blank he ordered to make me another one, and it is wowza beautiful. This is called, are you ready for this? The snail bow. Isn't that adorable? That is such a cute quilt. Then you've seen this on one of my videos. Here is that panel that I did, and I did Sea of Stars quilting on it. I had a lot more stars on it than they've chose to put on this one, but it's still a gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. This is one of my favorite parts of it is the silhouettes on the side with the wise men and then Mary and Joseph. I've always loved this quilt, and I hang this one in my home at Christmas time. Also, towards the end of the video, I share with you a viewer who came to see me from another state. I couldn't believe it. Now, she has attended my retreat 3 times, and we've become friends, so it's not like she's a creeper or stalker or anything. But needless to say, there was screaming going on. I'm glad we're looking at this quilt. This is called Fleur de Log, and there's another one in here. There's a red one in here. But I'm going to go close so you can see the blocks in this, because it took me a minute of looking at this quilt to figure out what it was. First off, this is the block right here, and notice that the purple strips are bigger than this is the other side of the block. Oh, you know what I did? I may have gotten too close. Sorry. Anyway, little strips here and big strips here. And then you look at this block up here, and the purple are the little strips, and the white are the big strips. Isn't that a cool pattern? That, to me, is a really fun log cabin that I may have to do. And I love that it's very, very rounded. This one is called New Age. It's very muted colors, very pretty. They've obviously hung it sideways. The quilting is pretty. They've done some medallions and some triangles in the quilting. Let me see. We can get close up of the quilting right there. You know me, since I'm a quilter, I always look at the quilting. This one is called Cock-a-doodle-doo because there's little chickens in there. It's a very traditional quilt, cute. And this one is a heart-shaped watercolor. So it looks like they've taken and watercolored out, you know, fading to dark, this heart, which is very, very pretty. See how that's done? That is a true watercolor quilt. Every year they have an auction quilt, and this is the auction quilt. It's called Alaska, and the colors that they've put in it are very, very pretty. Pinks and greens and blues and purples, and you think, you know, you look at the color wheel on pinks and greens and blues and purples, and you're like, yeah. But the reason this quilt is so gorgeous are the values of the colors. They have got lighter values and darker values, and that's really what makes this. They always do a raffle. I always buy tickets and I never win it. I'm unlucky. This is one I definitely want to win, and I'll probably put $50 in to try and win it because, hey, gorgeous. I have a special treat for you. This is Cinda Jensen, the maker of this quilt. And Cinda, thank you for agreeing to talk to us. Cinda, can you tell us how long it took you to make this quilt?
3 years, off
you?
and on.
3 years off and on. That's incredible. Would you give us a bit of advice if somebody wanted to make a quilt as detailed as this?
I start one block at a time and just keep working till I finish it. And this one I worked and we do one block and then another block, but I saved all the berries to the last, and I'll never do that again because I thought I would never finish doing berries.
That's pretty funny. So it's all handwork, and then who quilted it for you? Did you machine quilt it?
Yes, I machine quilted it.
So you have a long arm.
Well, mid-arm, yes.
A mid-arm. So ladies, let's get close. This was done on a mid-arm, which is, a mid-arm is what? Just a
small neck regular sewing machine, but it has a long table.
Okay.
So I did the paisley pattern here in the middle, and then feathers around the outside because I thought they went with the scalloped edges.
Here's the feathers again. So they go beautiful with that.
And these are all hand appliqued. All the.
So was this a kit, or did you put it together from a pattern?
I put it together from a pattern. It's a Pearl Pereira pattern.
I think this is such a showstopper.
Thank you.
So Cinda, thank you for talking with us, and
welcome.
thanks for sharing your beautiful artwork.
Thank
Do you have this one and the other quilt in, and only the 2 quilts in the show?
No, I have 5 in.
You have 5?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I have to go look for yours then.
You'll find them. They're around.
Okay.
Thanks.
This is called Autumn Leaves, and this is pretty funny. I was looking at it with some friends. In fact, it was Debbie Dobbins. And I said, oh, I have that design in my machine. We actually bought it for a customer. And I said, see, there's acorns in it and oak leaves. And someone read it and they said, oh, well, it says here that you quilted it. So anyway, my Michelle quilted it. I got a chuckle out of that because we did, but it sure is a pretty quilt. Look at those maple leaves, the blocks, a great use of fabrics. And I happen to know she had most of this fabric in her stash. Cooler collage. Look at the border work. The border applique is just so stunning on this quilt. Crisscross star. Here, let me pan a little bit. Look at that, how big that one is. Oh my goodness. And then the one next to it has a green ribbon, which is a Business Choice winner. Hi. I'm just going to come over here if you don't mind. Look at this one. It's quilted in dragonflies. Isn't that one gorgeous? And if it looks familiar, it's because, again, it was quilted in our shop by one of my clients, and it has a business award sign. Look, it's got dragonflies quilted in it because there's dragonflies in the fabric. Water lilies on the ends, which are hard to see, but isn't that one beautiful? There's the good old quilted witch. I think this is a poppy cotton or a Lori Holt pattern. I really think this one is poppy cotton. So cute. This is just an absolute fun quilt. How many of you love red, white, and blue quilts? Because they're some of my favorite. Isn't that a classic beauty? And again, see the green ribbon? So a business has chosen this one as their favorite quilt. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the close-up of the quilting. Look at that stippling. Ah! And then the quilting around the stars, or the blocks. They're not really Some of them are stars, some of them aren't. Isn't that beautiful? So this is quilting by machine. This is what we do on our gamel. Are you in the mood to see a one block wonder? Look at that. One block wonder. And inside, there's the big block. And pulling out, you can see that they've bordered it with fabric from the line. This one is called Deer Meadow Hexies. Oh, you know what? I think it's the colors, but this one called Northern Reflections is one of my favorites here. I was just standing here looking at this fabric, and the colors are just wowing me. Such a simple pattern, but I'm going to give you a close-up of some of the fabric. This was the one that first caught my eye. Can you see the little spool of thread there? And then I looked up. I don't know what this fabric line is. What a fun, happy line of fabric. It just seems to have everything in it. Turning around, look at that giant machine. Oh my gosh. The name of this quilt is called Peacemaker. You know why? Don't you think it's adorable? I do. It's obviously too big for the wall of my sewing room. This is called Kinda Prickly. Great job, isn't it? It's quilted by machine also. Now this one, you remember the Baltimore Autumn quilt? This was quilted by the same quilter, and it's under glass. She had a picture in her living room that she loved, and she just cut out these pieces. She recreated that picture. I told you she was an incredible quilter. And the colors in this picture are more vibrant, or the quilt picture are more vibrant than what she has on the painting in her living room. So the painting is gone and this is in its place. Golden Anniversary double chain. Gorgeous, isn't it? These are dark navies, not blacks, but dark navy blues and gold. Gorgeous. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but the gold has a sheen to it. Maybe if I get close enough, you can see. Yeah, I think you can see a little bit. The gold has a sheen to it. But I believe this is the fabric that probably inspired all the colors. Because if you take a look at it, it's got gold outlines in it, the dark navy, and it very possibly was in the same fabric line. Here's two quilts. We're going to take a look at both of these quilts, but I'll give you an individual shot. Disappearing pinwheel illusion. Fun, huh? Very easy quilt. And then coming over here, Easter Joy. Isn't that cute? Look at the cute bunnies and the eggs. And it has embroidery and tied with a Southwest vibe in the block. Hugs and kisses, very rich colors. This big one next to Hugs and Kisses is called Fernwood. It's a very classy quilt. The colors are very rich. Do you remember the one that I said, that I showed you the spools and the bobbins in the fabric that was very bright aquas? Same quilter. This is called Retro Picnic. This one is Wig Rose. Now it has got a couple of ribbons. It's the Valley of Plenty Quilters People's Choice, and it's a business choice. I'm about to blow your mind because I'm going to give you a close-up of the quilting. And all I want to say is, can you believe that stipple? Oh my goodness, right? Look at that. Really enjoy getting close to this quilt and checking out the quilting. And the colors are beautiful. A lot of handwork, a lot of machine work. This one was chosen best in show by our treasurer here. That's why the ribbon is red, white, and blue. And it is a beautiful classic double wedding ring. Without a border. And you know what I'm going to point out? I think the colors and the fact that there's no border gives it a little bit of a modern bend. It leans towards the modern quilts because of that. What are your thoughts? A lot of handwork on this. There's a lot of applique on this quilt. Rosy, cozy houses. Again, it has a business award. Gem Vision. Let me show you the hearts. She's got little beads sewn on after the quilting. Button for the doorknob. Adorable. It's quilted in hearts, of course. Now, this next one, April, this is for you. April loves purple. This one is a log cabin, and it's called anything else. You know what it's called. It's called a purple heart quilt. So April Story, this is for you. But look, they've done hearts in the border, hearts all over the quilt. And the quilting they have kept in the rows created by the log cabin. So they have not crossed the log cabin line. Again, the hearts pick up in the purple row. So I think that's really cool how they've done that. Purple heart for April Story from April's Craft Room. This is adorable. Thimbleberries Village. And you know what? I was looking at this the other night. Look at the block. Look at the block up in the upper corner for the sun. And then there's the stars. You've got the trees, the berries, the homes, the sunflowers, more berries. What an adorable pattern. But everybody out there in YouTube land that's looking at this, this is a sampler quilt. It's what we call a sampler quilt. These are very basic quilting blocks, but look how impactful it is because of how they put it together. Something that would be very easy for you to do. It's so cute. Thimbleberries Village. Garden, very modern interpretation, but you know what I love? The birds in it. Can you see those adorable bluebirds? They're so whimsical. Look at that. Isn't that just so cute? While these ladies have, look at this quilt, these customers. Notice she has a glove on so she can look at the back of that quilting. This, of course, so you can see the thread changes on the back of this quilt.
I'm glad I saw the sign that says, please look at the back.
Color Wheel Dinner Plate Dahlia. And we have one of these in our shop that Michelle is custom quilting right now. So we're kind of pinching our cheeks on that one. Scrappy String quilt in bold colors. Isn't that fun? Again, this is a very basic, a very easy quilt to do. Here, I'll come up here. And in rainbow colors. How happy this is. On this one, they're using the Drunkard's Path block, and they have made it into a medallion. And it's in Civil War red, white, and blue colors with paisley on it. If you're seeing that purple quilt off to the left, that one is one of my customers, Bev Barron's, We'll see that in a second. We quilted this one in our shop. Take a look at that. It's so nice. I don't have this much room in my shop to pick up a camera and get this shot. But look at that gorgeous quilt. Bev, you probably saw her in the video. She is a good friend of ours, and she came to the retreat. She's the one that made all the bread and made us fat at my quilting retreat. We love her for it. Look at the churn dash with the pinwheels. And they call it churn dash disappearing pinwheel. Let me turn my camera a little. Okay. Happy colors, isn't it? Navajo Starburst is the name of this quilt. There's the top. There's the bottom. Look at those rich colors. I'm going to get right in the center of this so you can see the colors. Isn't that something else? Absolutely beautiful. This is an elected official's choice ribbon. They got a red, white, and blue one because it's an elected official. But, and you know how this one is quilted with the same design all over the quilt. Looks like they've crossed the blocks. Sorry, I just always check the quilting out. Yeah, this is quilted with an edge to edge all over quilting because you just want texture in the background. You wouldn't want your quilting to compete with this incredible piecing and color work. Do you agree with me? That's my opinion. Here's two of them. You've all seen a Dream Big panel. Those are awesome. That's the one on the right. And then this is called Matchstick Stars. Oh. Do you remember the Florida log that was on the front of the video? Look at this one. Here it is in red. And she has a scrappy background. Isn't that pretty? And then take a look. You can see those blocks again. The little blocks and the big blocks. I love it. Are you enjoying the quilt show a lot as much as I am? No, that's as zoomed in as tight as it goes. This one is Call Into the Wild, and it's the same wolf pattern that is appliqued on, and I'm trying to figure out if it's embroidered. Okay, this lady designed this for her older son who has 3 wolf dogs. She started it in 2017, finished it in 2024. Those are embroidered. Isn't that something else? They're not machine embroidered. She's done that by hand. Pretty cool. You're going to have to see it in pieces. This is called a Diamond Star Path. Diamond Star Path that has some awards on it. Oh, this is a happy quilt. Starry skies and ocean waves. It's just a little lap quilt. How cute is that? And then right above it, Spring Wagon. It's an applique. Okay, I respect it even more. You know, I love brights. Look at this guy. Huge. Idaho Circle Symphony. Oh, look at the bird. This is done with batiks. The Idaho state bird is a blue jay. And look, it says Idaho just above it. And that's beautiful. I didn't know there was Idaho fabric. Wow, see above the bird's head it says Idaho? And here's another bird right here. And above the bluebird's head, can you see it says Idaho? Well, that's very cool. This is the same fabric that's in the border, and it's curved piecing. The colors are stunning. It's called Equinox. And I have to tell you, this is my friend Beverly. Beverly Barron's from Quilt Retreat. So she not only makes incredible bread, she makes incredible quilts. And you know, she's making all these big king-size quilt for her grandchildren. I think she has almost 20 grandchildren. And she doesn't want when they get married, they get a big king-size quilt from grandma. Now she doesn't want the last child to get the last quilt to think, oh, I got what was left over. She has about 30 quilts in her grandchild quilt collection, and they're going to get to choose. Yeah, she is incredible. Oh, and this has her favorite binding, a flange binding. She is so good at flange bindings. Do you see that purple in there? In fact, I want you to comment in the comments below, because if you want to see a lesson and a how-to on flange binding, I'll have Beverly in my shop, or I'll go to her shop and we will teach flange binding. She is really, really good at it. So comment below if you want to learn flange binding from Beverly. This is black and red. Oh, it's Disney fabric too. That's a very cute, happy quilt. And when you get up close, guess who's in it? Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. How cute. How cute is that? That's so cute. Stomping ground. This is made with batiks. These are batik elephants. This quilt was done by Valley of Plenty Quilters, and everybody did a block. And notice they're good eggs. They didn't give themselves an award, but look at these fun applique and quilted blocks. There's a little sunflower Sue up there, and a cat, a puppy dog, and then, is this yours?
No.
Oh.
This is the mice, so I think they're so cute.
Oh, this is, yes. Look at the little mice. Isn't this adorable? And then a little modern French girl with a balloon. So this was, again, the Valley of Plenty Quilting Guild put this together as a group. Isn't that fun? And you know why this works? It works because it's all the same fabric hues. Take a look at this one. This is called Scrappiness is Happiness. And I believe this is a Lori Holt pattern. I may be wrong, but I see a ton of Lori Holt bee in my bonnet. Well, that bee is her bee pattern because I've made it, and the tulip is her pattern. Anyway, isn't this a fun quilt? All together with her fabric. It's a sampler quilt. Beautiful. Has a simple edge to edge on it. How many of you like dachshunds? This quilt is called Dachshund's Rule, and that is a paper piece dachshund in there. Isn't he adorable? Paper pieced paws, and when you pull out, there's other dogs in there. However, the dachshund rules because he's in the center. Look at this one. Stars and Nines. Isn't that something? They're tumbled around there. Isn't that fun? It's quilted in stars. I think it's very pretty. Bright and happy colors. Ma'am, would you show us off your quilt coat? I'm sorry. Look at this quilt. She's a true quilter. I love it. And I know this fabric. And look, she has got Tell us about, is these little prairie points? Mm-hmm. Oh, how fun. How cute. Now, she's not entered in the show. She's just taken by surprise visitor, but loving it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your jacket. That was a little spur of the moment. Look at this quilt. This is called a study in gratitude. The bottom is hay or grain, and it's kind of a landscape. It's a beautiful one. This one has an award by an elected official, our prosecuting attorney, but I'm going to show you the thread art in this quilt. When you get close, look at this. So they've used a landscape fabric, but look at the thread art. Isn't that impactful? And you can actually see the colors in there, the blues, the greens. Now look what happens to the thread art as I go up the quilt. There's blues and whites, and look at that. Can you see the browns in there? Or maybe not the browns, but the oranges, because the sun is setting in this panel. Isn't that something else? I think this is a beautiful use of color. An alphabet Halloween quilt. How cute is that?
Oh, and she has come up with some. The V is voodoo.
Oh my gosh. This customer just pointed out, look at that. The V is for voodoo. I never would have thought of that. This is adorable. Of course, a R would be a raven, but quilts. M is moon. N is, oh, nettle. It's a stinging nettle for bruise. Oh my gosh. Very Halloween and very cute. O is for owl. M is for moon. Look at the witch's hat on H. Oh my, I just lifted up the sign. So cute. So cute. Look at this one. This was called Kinsley. Just happy color 9 patches. Wow. So pretty. I'm going to turn around and show you. Now this one is fun. This one is called Mexican Tiles. Love the colors in Mexican tiles. This is my vibe because I love colors. This one is called Eldon. It says to ask the hostess for the price. So this is a really pretty star. They give you gloves and you can turn the quilts over and touch them if you use a glove. And I don't have one, so thanks for turning that over. But here's a classic quilt. It's a turning 20. I have this pattern. I think every quilter has probably done this pattern because, come on, who hasn't done a turning 20 pattern? This quilt is called Sister's Choice, and it's the same block that's repeated with a background in shades of browns. Very, very pretty. So I want you to take a look at this one. It's called New Zealand. And it looks like it might have some Aboriginal. Let's go take a look at the fabric. I know why it's called New Zealand. Kiwi. There's a kiwi bird sticking out of those flowers. There's an owl. I wonder if it came from New Zealand or it's a New Zealand print, but take a look at the border. It's like woodland fairies. Very pretty. The other quilt behind me is such an Idaho quilt. We're cowboys here. This one is called Horse and Rider. And I believe that this is a Riley Blake panel. In fact, I think Riley Blake just put this out again. Look at this curved log cabin, and it's all in pinks. Isn't that just fun? This is beautiful, and obviously someone who likes pinks. And I know you can see the texture of the quilting behind it. It's an edge to edge, but look at this flower. I love it. Stack and slash. Okay, so this was a stack and slash quilt where they stack the fabric and slash it, and then they put them together. So the block is the same block with different pieces of fabric in it. But you know what she's worked into it is doilies. And doilies really kind of go with Elizabethan fabric. And then this is a, not a brocade. You know what, I can't remember what kind of fabric this is, but anyway, it's textured. I'm going to tell you the story of this quilt. First off, the fabric is painted. You paint it with markers, and then you use a solution on to make it bleed so you can get these colors that may look like a ombre batik, but it's not. She's painted that shirt in all of those colors. This is taken from a picture of her husband in the 70s. And Mel, he since now has dementia, but he was a professional bowler, and she captured him. Isn't this incredible? She used a photo to recreate his image. She has scorecards on the side. He's a veteran, and look, she put the Idaho veterans license plate in it. But it's a twin size quilt, and she said when it's on his bed, the scorecards on the side drape over the sides. And even though Mel has, is it Alzheimer's or dementia? I'm reading it. He has Alzheimer's, but he recognizes that that's him on the quilt. Isn't that incredible? I'm just so proud of this quilt. It's won a couple, our chief of police gave it an award, and a local business gave it an award. I just think what an incredible special quilt. And this is why we quilters quilt, when we make just fantastic things like this. But look at his bowling scores on the side and the balls. She's even put cracks in some of the marbleized balls. I'm so proud of this lady. She did such a fantastic job. And then the quilter did a fantastic job too. Look, it's all simple line quilting, but wow. See the floor? The floor's quilted, the background's quilted. This is cross-hatched. It looks like simple quilting, but this took a lot of time and a lot of thought. Here you go, one more pan of it. I love it. Enjoy this quilt. The name of the quilt, I forgot to tell you. It's on the license plate, Mr. 300, because that's what he bowled. Don't you love, love, love this quilt? I do. Life is Grand is the name of this entry. Applique. That's all applique. Beautiful. And it's done in 2 colors. It's a wow, stand out, look at me quilt. It's just beautiful. Here's the up close of the quilting. And I'm just going to switch over to the batik chandelier quilt. You know, this is a super simple quilt to make. Is the chandelier. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? Very beautiful. Oh, this is my friend Mo Brashears who made this one. Again, bright and happy colors is Mo. Okay, I'm going to swing around and show you this quilt that you might recognize, because this one was at my retreat. This is Bev Barron's quilt. She calls it Snowball Special. And the reason it's Snowball is because these little 1.5 inch half square triangles are all snowball corners that she stitched and saved. They've been cut off all of her other quilts. Michelle from my shop quilted it. I don't know if I showed it to you at the retreat or not, but look, here she is, queen of the flange binding again. And she did a scrappy flange. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, remember to comment in the comments if you want to see a video of flange binding, and Bev and I will get together and teach you that class. But this is such Snowball Special, I can't believe it. It is really something else. And this one has a vendor's ribbon, and guess who the vendor is? Yep, it was me. This quilt just makes me go, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Do you all know the exploding heart? Have you ever seen it done like this? This is called the Heart of America. It got an elected official and a business award. And isn't that just something else? A red, white, and blue exploding heart. And you know, no matter what your country is, if you love your country, this would be cool in any country colors, but I'm partial to the red, white, and blue. This is so beautiful. This is called Forest and Flannel. And this is the first quilt, another one of Bev Barron's. Isn't it fun knowing the people that quilted these? It's fun living in a small town. When I go to the Boise Basin Quilt Show, I hardly know any of the quilters, and I find this so much exciting that I know so many of the people here. I know all the people that are giving awards and most of the people in the guild. And this is, I'm going to tell you, this is Bev's first quilt for herself that she did. And Michelle quilted it in log cabins and pine trees. So let's come up close. It's flannel. Look at the little pine tree. And then can you see the log cabin right here? Something else, isn't it? This was some flannel panels she had, and she pulled the colors out of the flannel panels. This customer, Bev, is so good at pulling color. So take a look at all the colors in that panel. She pulled the greens and the blues and the browns. Here's a beautiful curved log cabin. How pretty. The colors are so light and pretty. And what do you think of the border? She's kind of offset spaces in the border to give it interest and to show the frame off a little bit more on that piano key border. And for your information, as we get closer, you'll see that there's a lot of birds and flowers, butterflies. Fabric is very ethereal, I would say. Did I say that right? I know it's not ethereal, so that sounds like a disease, but this is called Solare, S-O-L-A-R-E. Holy cow, wow. Let's take a look at the top. Some of these quilts are just humongous. Look at the points on this quilt. Can you see? This is what I appreciate. All of these points. Isn't that fun? Very beautiful quilt. Look what's on the other side of it. That's fun. And no, that is not a panel. These are pieced. Pretty awesome, don't you think? Now the border is printed, and this is a printed clouds, but the balloons in the center and the flying geese are all pieced. Very fun, isn't it? Floral menagerie, because it has a seahorse in the middle, a butterfly, a turtle, a bunny, a hippo, a duck. So this is fun. She's made it all with 9 patches and flying geese. Look at all the traditional blocks. The churn dash, okay, someone put in the comments below the name of this block. I know it's not a basket, but it's the flying geese, shoot. I've forgotten the name of that block, but isn't this fun? She's taken this really bright, happy fabric, and this was probably in the same line with it, and she's done appliques of these fun animals. What a great job. Floral menagerie. I love it. This is a drunkard's path, and we saw another one that was in red, white, and blue, but I like, as much as I love red, white, and blue, I like this one better. How about that? This is I think, hand quilting. Well, it's free motion quilting by machine. Isn't that gorgeous? My friend Sharon Boatman, who's a member of the Guild and a fantastic quilter, designed this pattern for this quilter. And it got an award again from one of the businesses. Something beautiful. This is called Tan and Black Drunkard's Path. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, we're going to walk around. Oh, I think we've seen everything. This is called Mrs. Lincoln's Album. Oh, isn't it crazy, exciting, and good, and a lot of stitches on there, a lot of hand stitches. This is called Nature Sketches, and this is thread art with an embroidery machine. How pretty is that? I like the solid background and then the colored birds or butterflies in it. Next to it, I'm going to lift this up. This is so hilarious. It's called Deceased. This might be a Laura Heine kit. I don't know. But it's a collage quilt. How fun is that? I know Michelle would love this because she loves bones. Scrappy legacy spools. I have to say I'm still partial to my spools because I'm a selvage queen, but this is very, very cute. This is called Tannenbaum. Isn't that gorgeous? It's quilted in a Baptist fan. Look at the colors in the Amish quilt. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. And then seasonal celebrations. This is a very cute applique quilt. This is called Little Bird Song. I just think it's so pretty. The girls in red. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Very modern. Look at the maple leaves. Oh, those maple leaves. Gorgeous colors. I like the green in them. Oh my heavens, I just realized there are maple leaves in New Mexico. Look at the cactus. That's funny. And look at this. Fiona, 3 times a charm. Okay, they've got some on the table. Hi. This is a panel, and it's got such a beautiful sunset in it, and look at the bottom of it. They've pulled the colors out of it with the purple sunset colors on the top and the bottom. How pretty. Now, how many of you know who Jay Wecker Frisch is? She's a designer for Riley Blake. And this is one of her panels. She does very whimsical steampunk style fabrics and designs. And somebody has done one of her panels here. And this was from her She Who Sews line. Isn't that fun? So if you like steampunk, you would probably love her designs and her fabric. I really do. You know, it wouldn't be a quilt show if we didn't have several sewing machines. You saw the great big giant one and the collage sewing machine. This one is just adorable. I'm dying to show you this because look at the thread art in this donkey. This is fabric that's cut, and this is collage, but they've also heavily quilted it. I don't know if you can see there. Maybe you can see some of the quilting if I turn my camera like that. Isn't that fun? The little birds. How beautiful. This is perfect. Look at her quilting. She's got the same binding on it, the same pieces. Oh, Madeline, you've done it twice. I'm in love with this mini. I would totally hang this mini in my sewing room. How pretty. Cottontails. Oh my heavens, I have never seen this before. I'm not talking about the cottontails. Look at the trick or treat quilt. So it's a witch made out of a pumpkin, and she's wearing a necklace, and look what's in her necklace. Real candy. Can you believe it? That is amazing. Here's the bottom of it with these cute flowers. Oh my heavens, it's called Does Trick and Treat Work for You? That is hilarious. How creative. I've never seen anything like that. I'm gonna stand back on this one a little bit. This is a quilt as you go, and it's also kind of a string quilt. Very good looking quilt as you go. Oh my gosh. How creative. This is called Give the Year the Boot. Now, look at this. January has snowflakes. Look at the February hearts on the boot. March, it's kind of tall. April, May, oh my heavens. June, I'm gonna go down to September. This is so clever. December is just green. There's December, November. Give the year the boot. How cute is that? Below it, a diamond log cabin. Have you ever seen a diamond log cabin? I'm looking at my first. Holy cow. Tumbling Glory. Tumblers are a really great way to make a waving appearance in a flag. And this is called Quilt Bouquet. These are, of course, Grandmother's Flowers Garden. How fun is that? Now, I've always been fascinated by stripes because this is one piece of fabric. And depending upon where they've cut it, they've come up with a blue center to pink square, a pink to yellow square, an inverted square, more like a cross. Isn't that fun to do with a striped fabric? What a fun quilt. And below it is another one by the same maker. honeycomb. And it's all machine embroidery. Stunning. Look at that. Oh my land. There's a pieced block in there that's like a honeycomb. Even this piece that looks like fabric is machine embroidery. That's incredible. I have to lift the label on this one. I love that bee. Wow. It's a beautiful piece. This quilt is called Yo-Yo Posies. How cute. It's very old-fashioned. This is all retro fabric, but I think it's, I don't know if it's retro or,
This is cute.
I don't know if it's retro or reproductions. Looking at it, I think it's reproduction. And then she's made yo-yos on it. How pretty. Paws Patrol. Here is another machine embroidery one. It's called Sewing Blocks. Isn't that fun? That's a really nice mini for a sewing room.
Richard likes that one.
How cool is that? And then this is called Calvary's Hill. And this one is a Lone Star. You know, I think when I do my first Lone Star, it's going to be a mini about this size. This is called the Hopi Sun. Some beautiful machine quilting on it. That is so pretty. She has turned those somehow. Look at that. Amazing block. Wow. Cute little quilt. This is called Therapy Quilt number 1, and it's all hand appliqued. Also, if I do an applique, it will not be bigger than this. It looks like it might be a Baltimore album, and oh, it's got a vendor's choice on it. This is one last quick look at all the quilts. You've seen them all. I'm going to walk back to my booth and show you where we're located. Here's Sister Chick's booth right here. You know you're in my booth when you see my chick quilt that was actually, let me show you something. See this spot right here? That's where the chick pooped on the quilt, is right there. We're sharing a room. Oh, and here's the beautiful Michelle. Say hi.
Hello.
Thanks for, it looks like you and Ferris are watching the booth today while I'm gone.
Say Ferris.
Say Ferris. So I wanted to show you this quilt because there you get to see all of it. Our local university is called Boise State, and their colors are blue and orange. And everybody's calling it a Boise State quilt here, and Michelle is laughing at that. She thinks it's so funny, right?
It is funny.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of ticking me off.
That's why it's funny.
So I'm sharing a booth with a man named Verl, and this is what he does. Look at these gorgeous pins. Just a minute, and I'm gonna come down here. Is your phone number on your card, Verl? I've had a couple of people contact Verl from my last video, and I want to show you what he has. Look at these crochet sets, and you can change the hooks. He turns them out of, well, I'm going to have him tell us what they are, but look how beautiful they are. And then you know what these are. The stiletto and a seam ripper, my very favorite tool. So we're going to talk to Verl for a minute here. This is Verl Schmidt's information. There's a phone number and a Gmail, verlschmidt66@gmail.com, and his phone number is 208-369-6576. He does custom pens. He does custom stilettos. Verl, how long have you been turning wood?
About 5 years now.
But Verl, you don't only turn wood. No. Would you show the one that you're doing custom for me out of the pine cone? Okay, I want you to look at this blank, everybody. Verl, tell us about the blank and turn it around and show us.
It's a pine cone resin.
He's making a custom stiletto in this very blank, not this one, but one just like it, that's aqua, because that's my color, but look at the pine cone in it. Isn't that gorgeous? I can't wait to get it, and I'll probably have it in, what?
2 weeks.
I'll have it in 2 weeks, so I'm super excited. Verl, has it been bad being with Sister Chick's Quilting?
It's been great. Lots of laughs.
Lots of laughs. You know how silly Michelle and I can get, and I don't know. We like to think we may have brightened Verl's life a little bit.
You did.
But he's a lot of fun. So if you're looking for Sister Chick's favorite tool, which is the stiletto and the seam ripper, he's your guy to go to. One more time, let's take a look at your phone number. That's it, pins and more. So give him a call if you want one. Thank you. And then, of course, you know, if you want some long arm quilting done, to give us a call. Here's Debbie and me. Now, besides being a prolific fabric collector and quilter, she is a true blue friend to Michelle as well. This next clip is an unedited version of us being silly in my quilting room. Okay, oh, sorry, let me belch you.
Let's just relocate one job for a while.
Okay,
Hey,
are we in the middle? Are we both in it? And is there space above our heads? Or do I need to do this?
You're fine.
Okay,
are we good?
all right. Are we recording?
No.
Oh!
Thanks, George.
Okay. So, you are not going to believe who is in my quilting room today. And yes, I said quilting room. Mm-hmm. Can you believe this?
It's gorgeous, too.
For those of you who watch YouTube, this is the famous viewer, Debbie Dobbins.
I'm that stalker.
She was at Quilt Retreat, and she came down to see the Emmett Quilt Show and me, and I'm so excited.
We surprised her.
Yes, it was a big surprise,
and
it was so much fun. But Debbie, thank you for coming to see me.
It was my pleasure.
Loved it.
I'm just glad that we didn't have to overdo it. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She hasn't kicked us out yet, so we're good so far.
Anyway, we're in the sewing room. It's not finished yet, so Debbie has had a sneak peek of the cabinets. So they should be done. They should be done next week, right? Mm-hmm. They're okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And I love that back wall over there.
Oh, thank you.
It's
All
the
right.
fabric, you know.
The fabric. Anyway, thanks. Bye. I really want to thank you so much for going with me on my quilting show adventure. We love doing this show. It's so much fun. And this year, we're giving away chapsticks and chocolate. Anyway, we seem to use a lot of them here in Idaho because it's dry. But we're having a good time at the quilt show. I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you for watching my video. And you know, if you like my videos, what I like, thumbs up, comments, and subscribe. Bye. See you next week.